Yo, what's up? What's up? What's up? This is your man Thatch the Great checking in once again. Let's get straight to it, man. All right, it is a beautiful Thursday night, and I wanted to take a moment to discuss this Cincinnati brawl that occurred. I believe it occurred a few days ago. I saw it in the news cycle. I didn't want to just hop on it without having, a full understanding of what occurred. But now that it's been a few days and also arrests have been made at this point, I definitely did want to touch on it and just go over this video because I really haven't taken a chance to look at it in depth as of yet. So I want to take a quick look at the video. I want to see what really occurred, what happened, and I just want to give my objective opinion and my perspective on the entire debacle. I've been hearing things both ways, and obviously, anytime you have a large group of one particular race being violent against another, it's going to cause lots of tension. It's going to cause a lot of division. We know that this is kind of how things go in this country, right? So I don't want to have any outside factors impacting the way that I'm viewing this. So what we'll do is we'll take a look at the video and then we'll just slowly break it down. I'll let you guys know exactly what I think from what I see, how I feel about it, as well as whatever insights I feel we might be able to take away from it. So let me pull up the video. Give me 1 second here. All right, let's take a quick look at this. Let me make sure that's on the screen. All right, let's go.
Unbelievably vicious video. This is very tough to watch. I got to warn you. In Cincinnati. This man was.
All right. I hate that it came in halfway through the brawl. I saw, obviously, it started with these black guys beating up on this one white guy. I really hate it when it comes in halfway. We don't know how it began. We don't know where it started at, what triggered it, but let's just keep going.
Beaten in the street in Cincinnati over the weekend. The police say 5 suspects are facing charges. They're asking others to turn themselves in. Then a woman who tried to defend him.
See, this is what I don't like. I never like this.
Also was punched and knocked out cold by a young.
This is the part that I always hate, guys. And just as much as it makes my blood boil when I see a bunch of white people ganging up on one black man, beating him senseless, and they're just doing all of this punk shit as far as ganging up on one person. I hate it just as much when I see scenarios such as this, where there's one guy who is being forced to stave off a whole group of black guys. Why can't it just be I know one-on-one is a concept that a lot of people don't even subscribe to anymore, but if you got an issue with somebody, give them the straight fade, bro. Give them a one-on-one. Why do y'all have to be such punks and gang up on the dude? And then when he's on the ground, you're still trying to stomp on him. I've never respected that kind of shit. I just never have.
Young man on the street. And as I said before, one person called 911 in this whole crowd. They're all too concerned about getting this whole thing on video so they can post it on their stupid phones. National correspondent Brian Yanis reports live here in New York. Hi, Brian.
Hi, Martha. Well, we just got disturbing new video with a different angle of this vicious attack that unfolded at 3 a.m. on Saturday in Cincinnati. It appears to show a verbal confrontation. Then you see a white man in a white shirt slap a black man in a red.
Okay, now that's interesting. Now, like I said, this is my first time seeing any of this. So the white man apparently struck one of the black guys first. Now, that is important. That's important to know who kind of jumped it off. But at the same time, does it justify him getting absolutely stumped the fuck out by a whole mob of dudes? No. However, I will say, and I'm not defending this in any way. So if you think that I'm just going to defend what occurred here just because the guys are black, then you're incorrect. But what I will say is that you got to be aware of your environment. In situations like this where you're outnumbered, you got to be aware of your environment. Got to be aware of your movement. You got to know how to move. So him slapping that black guy was a bad decision. Not saying anything that occurred afterwards is correct, but him slapping that black person, wrong move. Wrong move. Just as it would be a bad idea for a black guy who's completely outnumbered by a large group of white people to slap somebody. You never know who's with who, and you never know who's going to gang up on you. And that's just life. But let's keep it moving. Let's watch the rest of this video.
Sure. Punches are then thrown and the brawl ensues. The white man is punched and kicked repeatedly by black men and women. This new video also shows 2 other white men getting beat up. Horrifically, another video shows a woman being knocked unconscious, blood on her face after she was sucker punched by a man. Incredibly difficult to watch. Police have not said.
Okay, now that might be the biggest bitch move I've seen. That might be the biggest bitch move I've seen. Let's back that up. That is just some straight up punk shit.
Sucker punched by a man. Incredibly difficult to watch. Police have not said how or
what reason did you have to punch the woman, bro? Like, God, what reason, bro? There's like, I mean, even in the heat of the moment, as a man, you know not to punch the woman, right? and ladies, let me say this to all the ladies, right? Ladies, I know you want to defend your man. Just let me say this to the ladies. Ladies, I know you want to defend your man in situations like that, where your man is in the midst of obviously tons of turmoil, but just take my word for it. Take my advice. If you see men brawling, ladies, never get involved. Never jump in. That's an easy way for you to, like you saw in the video there, that's an easy way for you to get knocked out or to be seriously injured or hurt. Don't ever get in the middle of man business. Never, as a woman. Just friendly advice, just in case you don't already know that. Don't ever get in the middle of men fighting. That's just a bad idea as a woman.
Why this brawl started. Cincinnati's police chief says alcohol consumption played a significant role, characterizing it as a sudden dispute following a verbal altercation. Astoundingly, there were 100 people there, but only one person called 911. The Trump administration's Department of...
Isn't that a microcosm of our culture, unfortunately? Hundreds of people there, and yet only one person out of that entire crowd felt the need to call the police. Only one person in that entire crowd didn't just have their phone out recording like a fucking idiot, an imbecile with the phone out. Instead of actually trying to offer assistance or trying to bring this to an end, you got your phone out recording the whole thing instead of calling the police. And that's just the microcosm of the society that we live in, unfortunately. People don't have common sense. Everybody just wants to catch everything on tape, everything on video, but nobody wants to actually help the fucking problem. And that in itself is a problem with our society.
Justice suggesting hate crime charges could be filed. Quote, our federal hate crimes laws apply to all Americans. We at Civil Rights at DOJ will monitor closely how...
Okay, I disagree with this. I'm not sure what y'all think, but I don't think that this is actually a hate crime. Call me crazy, but I don't think this was a hate crime. I think what this was is just senseless violence, absolutely. I think this was just ignorance on the part of all the black guys that ganged up on the one guy, but I don't think it was a hate crime. I think anybody could have gotten that treatment in that particular scenario. What happened was he slapped one of the guys, and apparently they were all rolling together, and then it just became a 20v1, basically. That's what happened. So I think anybody, whether he was black or white, I think he would have got that same treatment. So what this is just some punk shit where dudes ganging up on one man. He just happened to be white. I don't think this was a gang. I mean, what do you call it? A hate crime situation. And I think it's very interesting and peculiar how quickly they are resorting to even calling this a hate crime. That's interesting.
Local authorities handle this attack. Vice President J.D. Vance, who's from Ohio, reacting.
We have got to make great American cities safe again for families and children. If you want to take your wife or your children out for a meal, you shouldn't be worried about street violence. And the only way to destroy that street violence is to take the thugs who engage in that violence and throw their asses in prison.
Martha, 5 people have been charged. More are expected.
I don't like JD Vance. I'm not even gonna comment there. I just think it's very ironic how quickly they're. I mean, first of all, these men should absolutely be held accountable for what they did there. It's absolutely unacceptable and it's indefensible. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely hate what I just saw in that video. But it's just crazy how quickly they act or how quickly they call for certain actions to occur whenever it's a victim who is white. Let's just keep it a stack. Because we've seen several videos, countless videos over the years where black men are getting ganged up on, or getting completely trampled on, stumped, beaten, drugged behind trucks, and yet it's like, and I don't want to make this a race thing, because like I said, I don't defend what I saw in this video at all. I don't defend it at all. I just don't like the way that they're so quick to always call for certain actions to happen whenever the victim is white, in contrast to when they're black. I just don't like that.
But so far, they have announced 0 arrests. So we'll see. We'll get an update as we get it.
Well, a lot of people know who all these individuals are. And as you say, it started with an altercation on both sides. But what happened was absolutely horrific. And the fact that nobody stepped in to stop it is just unbelievable. Brian, thank you very much. Unbelievably vicious.
Interesting. Let's watch this one more time. I want to see the footage one more time here.
In Cincinnati.
Okay, so right here, right? All right, so obviously this is a bad situation to be in. If you've never been ganged up on, you've never been jumped before, trust me, this is a bad situation to be in. All you can do when you're getting jumped like this, bruh, is try to cover up. Try to wiggle your way out, maybe try to be able to get your hands up, see if you can take one person on at a time. But in a situation like this, it's gone bad, bruh. And then once you get thrown to the ground, it is a wrap.
This man was beaten in the street in Cincinnati.
He's doing the right thing. He's covering his face up. That's what you got to protect the face if possible.
Over the weekend, the police say 5 suspects are facing charges. They're asking others.
Why? This the part I just don't understand. Why? He's down. He's had enough at this point. You made your point. He slapped y'all. He should not have slapped the guy. Y'all gave him some get right. Okay, we beat your ass. But once we have him down, we beat his ass, we threw him down, we punched him a few times, stumped him. Okay, that's it. Why do they feel the need to keep going? That's the part that I never understand when it comes to these situations.
To turn themselves in. Then a woman who tried to defend him also was punched and knocked out cold by a young man on the street. And as I said before, one person called 911 in this whole crowd. They're all too concerned about getting this whole thing on video so they can post it on their stupid phones. National correspondent Brian Yanis reports live here in New York. Hi, Brian.
Hi.
That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Let me see. I wanted to see more about what's this say? Begged for beatdown. What's this say?
Well, it is being called a coordinated attack and kind of like an ambush. That is what happened in Cincinnati. A detective describing last weekend's violent
coordinated attack. That's interesting that they called it that.
Street brawl. 3 of those suspects appeared in court yesterday on charges of felony assault and aggravated riot. Nate Foy is live from New York.
Listen to that verbiage. Aggravated assault. Okay, that makes sense. But they said aggravated riot. They call it. I've never even heard that being charged in a situation like this. I never even heard of that. That's crazy.
City with the latest on this story. Hi, Nate.
Hey, Aisha. For the first time, we're seeing pictures of the injured female victim after she got sucker punched in the face during that brawl. And Senator Bernie Moreno describes her as Holly. He says that she gave him permission to share the following pictures that you're about to see. And I warn you, they are disturbing. So take a look here. Holly's recovering from a concussion and various facial injuries. Senator Moreno said he thought Holly was dead when he first saw the video.
Wow.
Now take another look here. She gets knocked out by a man in the middle of the fight. What started the fight is still unknown, but Cincinnati Councilwoman Victoria, Senator, take a look at the pictures that you're about to see, and I warn you, they are disturbing. So,
bruh, look at this woman's face, bruh. This is insane. This is insane, bruh. I'm trying to think about what logically, as a man, what could logically be going through your mind when you decide to rear back and punch a woman in the face. Like, that woman wasn't even trying to hit him or anything. He just knocked her out just because, bro. Look at this shit. Yeah, man. That dude's, yeah, he's He's yeah, they ain't gonna let this slide.
Take a look here. Holly's recovering from a concussion and various facial injuries. Senator Marino said he thought Holly was dead when he first saw the video. Now take another look here. She gets knocked out by a man in the middle of the fight. What started the fight is still unknown, but Cincinnati Councilwoman Victoria Parks appeared to blame the victims, commenting on a Facebook video, quote, "They begged for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story." Now we've reached out.
That's a city council member saying that? They begged for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story. Bruh. Bro, you can't be in the city council saying dumb shit like this, bruh. Oh, the person said, you are on the city council and you make a statement like this? Exactly. Bruh, who says that? That's crazy. That's crazy.
Out to the councilwoman for comment. So far, she hasn't responded, but according to local reports, she stands by those comments.
What?
Video circulating online shows the white man slapped local reports. So far, she hasn't responded, but according
they beg for that beatdown. Wow.
According to local reports, she stands by those comments. Video circulating online shows the white man slapping a black man before the brawl, but Senator Marino says Cincinnati leadership deserves blame.
They're down 200 police officers. The police chief blames social media. The city council person blamed the victim. The mayor went to a misfit mayor's conference and then took a vacation to Canada. Hasn't been back.
What the hell is a misfit mayor's conference? What the hell is that?
Back in town since then. This is a total travesty.
So 3 of the 5 suspects, as you mentioned, Aisha, appeared in court yesterday. They're charged with assault and aggravated rioting. Ohio Governor Mike DeWine.
Assault and aggravated rioting. That aggravated rioting, that's a charge that I've never heard before. These dudes ganged up on that man and they're calling it aggravated rioting. Assault, that matches. That makes perfect sense. I feel like the aggravated rioting may be a charge that they're putting on there in order to guarantee that certain time is given to them. Like sometimes they trump up the charges. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't feel sorry for these fuckers at all because what they did was disgusting. If the white man slapped them, and don't get me wrong, the white man absolutely they have his ass beaten. He deserved to have his ass beaten for slapping a dude. But if he was going to get his ass beaten, it should have been a one-on-one, not a gang up situation. I never advocate for somebody being ganged up on. Yeah, I don't feel sorry for these guys though, but that's no way to conduct yourself as a man.
And announced last night that state troopers will provide support for Cincinnati police. Now, 2 of the 5 suspects charged for that brawl still have not been arrested. We'll send it back to you, Aisha.
Okay, Nate Foy live for us. Thank you, Nate.
You got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brad. Very interesting stuff, man. Do I have anything else that's more recent? Says there's a symptom of deeper cultural hostility. All right, let's just for shits and giggles, let's watch this one. This will be my last one. Oh,
welcome back. We're
not Will Kane. This bitch ass mofo. All right, whatever. Let's see what he's talking about.
Continuing to follow the story out of Cincinnati, where a group brutally beat a man and a woman over the weekend. Today, 3 suspects appeared in court. No pleas were entered, and it's unclear if they were released on bond. They're expected back in court next week, and now the FBI is launching an investigation into this whole thing. One of the suspects, in fact, was already out on bond during the attack for a...
Oh, God. Bro, you are about to be put under the fucking jail. You were already out on bond for another crime, and you had the nerve and the audacity to gang up on this dude? Oh, nigga, you're going under the fucking jail.
Separate incident. He was indicted on multiple felony charges for a possession of a stolen firearm. Yet there he was at Jazz Fest. On Sunday, Cincinnati City Councilwoman Victoria Parks commented on the video of the attack, writing, quote, "They begged for the beatdown. I'm grateful for..."
I cannot believe that a city council member said this. They begged for that beatdown. I am grateful for the whole story. Wow. Wow. A city council member said that.
The whole story. Look, we called her office to clarify what she meant, but we did not hear back, and we know damn well what she meant. As for the victims, Ohio gubernatorial candidate Vivek Ramaswamy spoke to the woman who got sucker punched. Quote, I spoke to Holly earlier today, parentheses, the woman tragically assaulted in Cincinnati this weekend. She's a single working mom who went to a friend's birthday party. It's unconscionable that there were no police present in that area of Cincinnati on a Friday night.
Wait a minute. I thought she was with the guy that they were ganging up on. So the woman who got knocked the fuck out, she wasn't even. This is why it's important to wait to get further information and further news and further details, because all of the news outlets were running with the fact that she was his wife. Now, if we go by what this dude, Vivek Ramaswamy, I remember he failed at running for president, but okay, he says that, interesting. He says that she is a single working mom who went to a friend's birthday party. So she was not even with the guy. Then what the fuck was she doing in the middle of that melee? It's unconscionable that there were no police present in that area of Cincinnati. I do agree there. How the hell was there no law enforcement anywhere near there? That's crazy in itself. But okay.
Or even an ambulance to take her to the hospital. Hardworking Americans should not have to worry about their safety when they have a good time in our cities. Just minutes ago, by the way, Ramaswamy wrote, I'm hosting a town hall in Cincinnati on Monday, along with Christopher Smitherman, former vice mayor, former president of the NAACP, to have an open, honest conversation in my hometown.
And that will do absolutely nothing. Listen, unfortunately, as ugly as it sounds, situations like this are going to happen. Situations are going to happen where there's sometimes racially motivated occurrences like this, and sometimes it's not racially motivated. Sometimes it's just like I don't believe this was a hate crime whatsoever with this gang up situation. I believe that it was just a white guy who made a dumb decision to slap a black man who was with other black people. He was with his friends. That's the worst thing you can do. That's a bad idea. That's a bad idea if you're a black guy by yourself and you get into it with another black dude who's out with his friends. It's a bad idea to not know your environment, to not pay attention to what's going on around you, and to not be cognizant of who's with who, because if you slap him, you're going to get stumped by the whole crowd. Just know that. That just comes with the territory. So I don't think it has anything to do with being a hate crime at all, not whatsoever. I just think it's a very unfortunate situation of senseless violence that occurred, absolutely. But I don't believe it to be a hate crime at all. And that's just my take. That's just the way that I view it. Maybe you see it differently. But I think that obviously 5 people were arrested and charged with assault and aggravated riot, which I've never seen before. But that aggravated riot, like I said, I think that's just a matter of them trumping up the charges to make sure that all 5 of these people actually do some time in jail or prison, what have you. But if that's the case, I don't feel sorry for them, because I'm never someone who I just think it's a punk move to gang up on people. I never like the feeling of seeing somebody getting stumped out by a whole group of people. I'm just more, I guess I just come from that culture and from the old school philosophy of give me a straight one-on-one fade. That's just the way I was raised, and that's the way that I wish society operated. But obviously, we got a whole lot of punks in this nation now, unfortunately. So that's that. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say, man. Just all I want to say. I just wanted to take a quick look at this video. I wanted to wait till more facts came out, and looks like 5 people were arrested. They're being charged, and they rightfully do deserve to be charged for that heinous act that they committed, jumping that one man. Nobody deserves to be able to slap you. The white guy slapped him. Of course, he deserved to get something. He deserved to get some get right. They gave him that, but the problem is, once you already beat the dude down and you throw him down, you've already thrown him to the ground. Why do we still need to continue beating the hell out of him and stomping him at that point? It's just senseless. It's just senseless violence, and it goes into a whole nother territory at that point. And that I don't condone whatsoever. So I think these guys got exactly what's coming to them. You do stupid shit, you got to deal with the consequences. And that's all I got to say about that. Y'all, thanks for listening. This is your man, Thatch the Great. I'll holler. Peace.